We have been on the road for over 3 years, and while we have seen a lot of cool stuff, we've never seen anything compared to this. We're out exploring Great Smoky Mountains National Park and cannot believe what we lucked out on.
Turkeys. Bear?
Bear.
Where?
Down there, see him? That's really cool. We're sharing it all with you over the next half hour. Welcome to Living Large Camping.
Good morning. It is 5:30 a.m. this morning at Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It is both of our first time here, which is so exciting, and we thought we would start off with a gorgeous sunrise at Clingmans Dome. There is a different name as they've renamed it, but I cannot pronounce it, so I'll put it in here. And then we're just going to be exploring the park after sunrise. Barkley's here with us because it's going to be a little bit warm in the park today, and there are no plugins, aka no AC, so he comes with us to explore. Dogs aren't allowed on any hikes per usual, but I think we're going to have a great time driving around, seeing the views, enjoying the park.
We're staying at Smoky Campground, which is on the North Carolina side, so the southern end park, and it's about a 40-minute drive over to Clingmans Dome. Through the pitch black, hopefully no deer or elk or any other kind of wildlife on the road.
Or bears. I saw a post that someone said they've seen 10 bears here, so maybe we'll see some.
I would like to see a bear. We have been on the road for 3 years, and a bear is one of the only things we have not seen. One of the risks that you have with early morning activities is weather and fog. So far it is very foggy up here. I know we've gone up in elevation from the campground. I'm not sure exactly what we're sitting at, but hopefully by the time we get up to the observation deck and let the sun rise a little bit, the fog can burn off. But right now, it is thick.
Yeah, we can barely see maybe 10 yards in front of us, so let's hope there are no animals in the road, no one trying to cross or run across this morning, because we cannot see anything. And we are on here for 10 more minutes.
It's fog like this that makes us wish we still had a big front bumper on the truck.
Okay, we made it. That was a little nerve-wracking.
Surprisingly, not the first ones here. There's about 6 or 8 other cars, which means somebody else is on the trail, so we're gonna go catch up to them.
Yay! I hope the fog burns off, because it is dense.
I got a good feeling that it will.
Me too. It is very windy here, and I believe the little hike up to the overlook is straight up. So I'm assuming it's also going to be windy up there. Connor and I both put on our rain jackets that we keep in the car as a windbreaker. And hopefully this tea keeps us warm.
Great Smoky Mountain National Park is one of the unique parks where they don't really have an entrance pass. We have our annual pass, but since it is a pass through from North Carolina into Tennessee, they can't really regulate who is driving through the park. Instead, they have moved to a parking permit system. It's only $5 a day or like $15 a week, and it's required anytime you're parking your car more than 15 minutes. So we didn't need it at the campground because we did pay for a campsite, but since we are here, we had to buy a parking pass. You can either do them through a kiosk or at the visitor center, but if you're coming through, just keep that in your mind because we didn't know and we had to go talk to somebody about it, but parking permit, not national pass.
Connor is looking it up, and the reason they're doing that is because they've had so many people drive through and not pay to be here, and they're losing money for restoration purposes. So they started doing that, and now they're able to kind of work on some trails and roadways and make this park nicer.
This is definitely the most our lungs have had to work in a long time. The peak is at 6,600 feet, and we're at like 6,200 right now. Our campsite is 2,500 for reference, so the 30-minute drive this morning climbed 4,000 feet of elevation. I don't know what the tallest point in the East Coast is. Probably not this, but it's by far the highest up we've been in a very long time. And our lungs are feeling it.
If it looks like we're struggling, we are just a little bit. This 0.5 miles is very humbling, but it's straight uphill. We're climbing 400 feet in 0.5 miles. That seems pretty quick to me. It's worth it.
Low elevation lungs.
Yes, true. Especially coming from sea level. The last section is a concrete pathway up towards kind of looking spaceship tower, which was very cool. We'll have to see if they have any signs, because I was wondering if they used to use this for fire watching, but whew, I'm out of breath.
It is 6:45, which is when the sun is supposed to be rising today. We're probably gonna try to stay up here for a little while to see if any of this burns off. But if not, a nice foggy view over the mountains is always a cool look too.
Almost close.
Ask and you shall receive when we get up here. All of the signs, they're extremely faded, so hard to read, but it does show the highest peak in the eastern US is Mount Mitchell, which is only 41 feet taller than where we are right now. On a clear day, not this morning, obviously, you would be able to see Mount Mitchell. It's only 73 miles away from here. I'm glad you brought your tea.
Yeah, glad I brought my tea and my rain jacket. It is windy up here. I really want it to burn off. Wah.
There's been a pretty big lack of signage and information all throughout this park. I think a lot of that's due to the funding that they do not have right now. The most information we found is up here at the top of this dome. The problem is all of these signs are so sun bleached that you can hardly read them, which is upsetting because there's some pretty cool information on it. Like for instance, here's the path down. On the left side is North Carolina. On the right side is Tennessee. But you can't really tell much about what the sign's saying besides reading that little glimpse of it. Hopefully they can get some more money and redo some of this stuff pretty soon. We've been here for 20 minutes. We said we were going to give it another 10 minutes ago, just to see if anything's changed. And the only thing that's changed is it's gotten more windy and the fog has gotten thicker. So I think we're sadly going to have to turn around.
We tried our best. We got here right at sunrise, and everyone that was already here were like, yeah, good luck. You're not going to see anything. So I guess that's what you get when you have no service and you just wing it. Hopefully the rest of the park opens up today.
You think it's December?
Well, I mean, it's probably in the 40s up here. I'll take this over winter camping in our truck shell, though. Wow! Oh wow, this feels so much better down here. Some of the signs that we could barely read shows that they were putting on finishing touches along this walkway in 1956. I believe that's the date that I read, but correct me if I'm wrong, which seems pretty long ago, so I'm glad they built it well. And also on the sign, it showed that this, well, up there, is the highest peak on the Appalachian Trail, which is pretty cool. There's signs along here that show the trail going along it. I always think it'd be so cool to walk some of it someday, and I do think it's very impressive, those that choose to walk the entire thing. I can only imagine the challenge and the beauty you see.
If you don't know much about the Appalachian Trail, it's something like 2,200 miles from Georgia all the way up to Maine. And people start it about now and finish at the end of summer. So it's a very extreme and strenuous hike, but I am sure some of the views and the challenges and all of the success that you feel along the way is such a gratifying feeling. Maybe someday we'll do part of it. I don't know that we'll ever do the whole thing because through hiking is not necessarily like the most desirable thing for us, but I think the appreciation of it would be cool to do a piece of it someday.
Connor just reminded me, and this is funny because we're walking right past the Appalachian Trail. The last time we saw the Appalachian Trail was in Shenandoah National Park. So 2 national parks with the trail.
That
Pretty
was
cool.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Another beautiful national park, I suggest.
He's moving.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I thought he froze. Well, moving to at a snail's pace. Bye, buddy. I'm so smart. You're doing great.
We're back at the truck now, gonna have a little bit of breakfast, and then we're gonna drive towards Tennessee and see what else we can check out in this park. One side over there is the town of Gatlinburg. We've never been there, but we have heard that it is one of the most tourist trap type of places in the country. Whenever we posted our video about Branson, a lot of you guys commented about Gatlinburg and how disappointing it was. So I'm not sure that we'll spend any time there just because no reason to go if we know we're going to be disappointed. But we're at least going to go over to Tennessee and check out the rest of this park. Real quick, we want to take a minute and talk about the best upgrade that we have made to our camper. We have had our RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for over 6 weeks now, and it has changed the way that we sleep. We went from a cheap and flimsy spring bed to an ultra high quality mattress, and it really changes this camper from a trailer into a home on wheels. Amelia and I opted for the signature hybrid model, and we wanted it to be firm to give us extra lumbar and whole body support that we need after a long day of exploring. They have over 22 different mattress sizes through 5 different models, so there is a perfect mattress for every person and every camper setup. While we do have a dinette in the camper, we've started to choose to sit on our mattress to work and edit videos and even watch TV just because the mattress is so much more comfortable for long periods of time. Since this is more of a residential size mattress, our sheets actually fit correctly and we don't end up with a bunch of material sliding around while we sleep. RV mattresses aren't just for camper use, they are a great option for your bed at home. The online shopping, free shipping, and compact packaging make upgrading your bed as simple as ever. When it gets delivered, all you have to do is take it out of the box and unwrap it from its packaging, and it instantly begins to take shape. Within just a few minutes, the mattress is fully expanded and ready for the perfect night's sleep. RV Mattress even provides a 120-night sleep guarantee trial, free shipping, and a limited lifetime warranty. Right now, you can save 30% off of your next mattress order at rvmattress.com/livinglargecamping, or you can click the link in our description box below. That way you can make the mattress upgrade that you have been waiting on. Change of plans this morning. Originally yesterday, whenever we were looking up things to do in Great Smoky Mountains, the 2 things that we found were the dome hike that we did this morning and Cades Cove Drive. But from Smokemont campground where we're staying, it was a 2-hour drive, and we just didn't feel like that was the best use of our time. But today, since we already did the hike, and instead of going down towards Gatlinburg, which was another 30 or 40 minutes, we just did the extra hour and 10 over towards Cades Cove. We're driving through it now. It is so jungly and green. Everything is blooming. The river that runs through the road is gorgeous and just looks so peaceful. And people have said that this road is a great place to view wildlife. So hopefully we can see some things moving around this morning. It's about 8:30, 65 degrees outside. So maybe we'll just get a little lucky.
We're only 10 minutes away from Cades Cove, which is supposedly the prettiest drive in the park. We will see about that. This drive here, though, is gorgeous. So if Cades Cove is prettier than this, I cannot wait for it. I am loving this drive.
One of the most popular hikes in the park is called Laurel Creek, but they have the whole trail closed right now. It's under construction until 2026. They're going to be adding more parking and I think widening the trail and maybe paving it as well. So hopefully we'll be able to come back at some point in time in the future and check that spot out. But it said on the map, don't worry, there are lots of very similar and less popular trails that you get the same type of view and feel out of. Just a heads up if you're coming here in the next year, that the most popular trail will be closed.
Since it's closed, we can't speak on whether it is the best trail, but it is definitely the most popular. I was just telling Connor, it's kind of funny how it may not be the best, but because so many people suggest it and then it just keeps trickling up to be the favorite on a list, like on all trails, people keep going and then it just does become the most popular. So the other falls that they're suggesting may be prettier, they're just not suggested as much, so no one really checks them out. So maybe this will be a good opportunity for another one to be more popular.
We made it into the section called Cades Cove, and once you get back here, it is an 11-mile loop through the park. It's supposed to be the best area to see wildlife, and they say mornings and evenings is the best time to see the animals. Obviously, that is fully dependent on whether or not they want to come out and say hi to us. It has a chance to get very backed up. Plan some time if you're going to do this, especially if it's during a busy season of the park. I mean, it's 9:15 and we're already in a line of like 10 cars deep. So obviously if you see animals, it will back up even further. And it looks like a bunch of people are stopped up here. So let's go check out what they're seeing.
Right when we entered Cades Cove, there was a little information center with some bulletin boards about what this area was. So up to 100 years ago, people lived here. There was around 708 of them, and they used to have cabins. It shows that they still have cabins around, but most of them were demolished. And back then, the typical animals you would see is actually what you see today. They reintroduced elk into the park, so that, I believe, is why elk are such a big presence here. The reintegration and their growth has been amazing. So elk is plentiful now, and they used to have wolves. I'm not sure if they still do. And they also have tons of turkeys. Bear?
Bear.
Where?
Down there. See him? Black bear.
No. Ah! A bear!
He's way down there. But
on the left side?
On the left side, yeah.
This is so cool. Bring a bear. Oh, we can barely get him.
Ha! We can barely get him. I apologize for that one. Oh, another one to your right, back over there.
Oh, wow.
They're extremely hard to see, and we don't have any very good zoom lenses, which, looking back at it now, we definitely need to add to our setup. But there's two walking around over here, and it's drawing a crowd for sure, including us. That's really cool. Hard to believe that's the first time we've ever seen a black bear.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There's a reason it draws such a crowd, and it's silly kind of being a part of that crowd, but I'm not gonna not stop and see it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and at least we're being respectful. We've seen some people not be respectful of animals and they get too close, but we were plenty away. All right, so far, Cades Cove has lived up to the expectation. If that's all we see, I will be pretty happy about that since we started off seeing 2 black bears. Pretty cool. The people next to me were guessing that it was a male. They had binoculars so they could get a little bit closer of a look than we could with our naked eye, but I'm so happy. Well worth it, I will say.
That was within the first mile of this 11-mile loop, so I've got a good feeling that we could see some more the farther down we go. Hopefully something a little bit closer too.
We just pulled off again, and there is a, I'm assuming mama bear with a cub. We saw a lady with a massive zoom lens, and I was like, she's getting out of the car. She for sure sees something good. So we kept looking, and Connor goes, there it is, and then he just saw the cub. This is so cool. I love it. I have tears in my eyes. I'm so happy.
Oh, it's got a little cub.
I knew it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's climbing.
I see it.
Oh my god, so playful. You know it's good when about 20 plus cars pull off just to watch this mom and her cub play around. This is so cool. I was just telling Connor, I'm pretty sure like the moms have their cubs right now and they're probably out to go play and eat, and I'm so glad I was right about that because they are freaking adorable. This one is just like kind of playing on this tree and climbing around while mom gets food. It's so cool to watch animals just live their life, and we're just here to observe.
That was an amazing experience, just seeing a cub that small. As I was standing there taking videos, a guy drove by and he said, I've been coming to this park for 60 years and he's driven this road probably 100 times and he's never seen a cub that small.
Oh, that's so cool.
That was a special experience. That solidified it. I'm buying a zoom lens whenever we get service because it's not fair to you guys, it's not fair to us, because then we would have such cool footage and memories. So we'll make it happen.
We stopped at the visitor center that is halfway through this 11-mile loop. They also have restrooms and what was inside?
There's like a gift shop.
Basically.
Okay. And you can buy your parking passes there too.
Okay. Well, if you need any of that, they have that there halfway through. And it's really nice because I believe it took us almost an hour just to get halfway through the loop, which sounds really long, but every time you pull off and enjoy some wildlife, time goes by pretty fast. So we've got the rest of it to go. Hopefully some more wildlife. It did start to rain, but I don't know a better way to spend the day than being in a car driving through these beautiful roads and hopefully seeing more wildlife. Hi, buddy. Oh, cool.
Good job.
Yeah.
Just as we were about to leave this little loop, I spotted one through the woods, which is more in like a natural setting to me, it feels like. And he was just standing there, sniffing, looking at us. A bunch of people stopped behind me. At least we got to see one more on the way out. Okay, this drive was way on the other end of the park from where we were. I mean, it's 2 hours back to the camper. But if you're here and you're considering coming over to this area, it's absolutely worth it. It's a great day trip. Spend most of the time in the car. The drive itself is gorgeous, and then everything you get to see once you get here makes it 100% worth it. Even if you don't get to see any bears, the area is stunning, but hopefully you can get an experience like we just had.
That was so special. I will remember that forever, and I can't wait to go through all of the footage again because you get to capture everything and be in the moment, and then I get to go back and look through videos again and just see how beautiful they were. It's just so cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this video too, because I believe that that whole experience was something really unique. We've had 2 people already tell us that they've either come here 100 times and haven't seen a cub that small, or they've come here 100 times and haven't seen any cubs. So for us to have seen one crawling around and playing on a tree is just so cool.
We're leaving the Tennessee side and heading back towards our campground in North Carolina. Whenever we pulled into Great Smoky Mountain yesterday, we saw on one of the things that it is one of the, if not the, most visited national park in the United States. And at first thought, whenever we were pulling in, I didn't really understand why. There just didn't seem to be too much to offer besides a pretty road through the mountains. But my view has changed so far today, and it is definitely worth the visit. We can't really say anything about the hikes because we haven't done any of those, but I'm sure the terrain and everything is just as gorgeous as the drives are. And we're just glad to be back doing some national park stuff because they are worth seeing. And you do fight crowds and you fight people that don't always understand the camping culture, but nevertheless, they're national parks for a reason, and hopefully you guys appreciate getting to see those because we're glad that we can at least film them now. Whether or not we go to all of them, we're still able to film ones that are along our route. It's about a 2-hour drive back to the campground. We'll see you at the camper. Tomorrow's the first day of May, which means spring is over and the elk have all shed all of their antlers. They typically shed them between January and April after the rut is over and they don't have as much testosterone. It triggers something in their body that tells them to go ahead and drop their antlers. So this is all a mix of male and female. You can't really tell unless you get up close to them and you can see kind of the knobs on the top of their head. But from afar, they all look the same.
Good morning! We had the most relaxing morning here in the camper. We woke up and fell asleep to rain, which has been kind of a while for us, so we just took it slow, had our tea in bed, read our books, and I ended up finishing mine, which was really nice. And then we just took Barkley for a loop around the campground. We were going to show you guys the campground, but since it is still really muddy and rainy out, I just took some clips so you guys can see what it looks like. They also have the river running through this campground that actually runs through the entire national park. So if you can get a spot that's close to the road on the other side, you get to listen to the river all night long, and that to me sounds like a really good sleep. Highly recommend staying here. They have several other campgrounds that we weren't able to check out, but if you're over here and this is the easiest one to get to, You'll have a great time. You see some foxes, elk running through, and a river. I don't know what else you can ask for. We're going to pack up the camper. Connor's going to hitch the outside in the rain, and I'm going to finish up the inside. That's kind of our process, and it just makes everything go much faster and very smooth. So I'm going to do the inside now.
Our original intentions this morning were to go on a hike that starts at the campground over here, but since it rained all night last night, we figured that it would just be a slippery mess, and no need to do that before we go sit in the car for a few hours. Oh, nothing like setting up in the rain. A few of you guys have asked if we still like the trailer over the truck camper, and the answer is an absolute yes. Really the main thing is the fact that we have the truck that we can go explore around in has definitely allowed us to see more of the places that we're actually staying. Like yesterday, being able to drive around all day and then come back and have a nice relaxing evening at camp. Stuff we could have done in the truck camper, we just never actually did because the thought of setting things up and taking it all down every time you want to leave really makes you not want to do things. But there definitely is more of a process when it comes to getting ready to leave and everything like that with the trailer. The size of the trailer, though, is something that we definitely love. It's very compact. You can fit in any site super easily. National parks and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about. We just need a little bit more room. Still not sold on the whole slide thing, but we are going to be looking this summer and going and trying out some other campers. So once we get up to Michigan, this trailer will likely be for sale. One of my favorite quick little time-saving hacks is to just step up to the tongue of the trailer, mark it on your knee how tall it is, and then step over to the hitch on the truck. And if you have enough height for the hitch to clear, then you should be good to go backing your truck up under the trailer. Not a perfect science, but definitely a time saver.
The inside is all finished. Everything's put away. I like to do the bathroom last only because there's so many things that you could forget. And if I don't go like the process I do every single time, there are some times we forget and things end up breaking or we just kind of damage something. So I like to have a routine only because if you don't, you will forget something. I promise that. Connor likes to have a checklist, especially for doing the camper hookup and everything. I also like to make usually breakfast before we go because I don't want to get hangry on the road. And I also am usually in charge of snacks for the road. So Connor asked for pistachios and almonds, and we also have pretzels with hummus. Something to keep us full while we drive, and it helps neither of us get hangry because no one wants that on the road. Connor should be finished up outside, and that was pretty quick.
Just like that, we are all hitched up, emptied out, and ready to head towards Michigan.
That's actually wild to say. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along on another national park. I had an amazing time. I had no expectations, but getting to see elk, bear, fox, butterflies,
it was a great
everything. I loved it. I hope you guys did too.
Let us know what your favorite national park is so we can add it to our list and hopefully go check it out someday. That's it for now. We're going to get a number of hours down today over the next couple days, and we will see you guys next week in Michigan.
Woo!
Not at the cabin yet. We're going to go camping one time before, but we'll be in the state and then we'll be at the cabin.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Hope you all have a large day. See you up north.
Bye.